And they said you were too big for Smash. Hey everybody, Master of the Year to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Nintendo Land. In the previous episode, we wrapped up our adventures in Pikmin Adventure. And in today's episode, we'll be going towards our next solo attraction, Metroid Blast. Alright. Defeat all enemies. Alrighty then, so one thing I'm going to let you guys know real quick is, just like Pikmin Adventure, there is a tutorial on your first playthrough of this game. So I'm not going to be demonstrating that because it's only on the gamepad, and it only covers things that I could just explain myself, so you're not really missing much by me not showing you that. And besides, you're going to be seeing it over and over again the first couple times you play through this minigame. And also I do apologize if my commentary quality is a little bit different in this video because I have a gamepad in front of my face because this minigame has motion controls, so that's going to be pretty fun. I like motion controls, so it's not a big problem for me. One thing that I would like to say is that this is a pretty interesting minigame. There are 20 levels in all, so this has the most content of all the solo attractions, which is pretty nice because Metroid definitely needs all the content it can get, especially on this console. But that's not the point now. The point now is that we're going to be doing 5 levels per video. So we're going to wrap this up in 4 videos, so even though this is technically the longest solo attraction, we're just going to be wrapping up in like 4 videos and things like that. One thing that I must apologize for is the fact that the TV screen isn't really the best in the world for this minigame. Like, I do like the idea of it, where it gives you a bit more of a cinematic perspective on what's going on in the action. But in terms of a walkthrough, I do apologize because this doesn't give you the best camera angles in the world. But it does make it more cinematic, which I do appreciate because that makes my job easier, kind of. But I do wish that there was a way that the gamepad screen could be shown on the TV. Now, one thing that I'd like to say real quick is, why in the world is Star Fox Zero not like this? Alright, we'll talk about that a little bit more, but first I should probably explain how the controls work. You move around with the left thumbstick, and you climb up and down using the right thumbstick, and also you turn around with the right thumbstick as well. You press the ZR button to shoot, just like in Splatoon. You press the ZL button to zoom in like this, except you can't see that because that's not on the TV for some reason, which is a little weird. There are a couple other things you can do. You press the A button to boost like that. That is a great way to dodge out of the way of enemy attacks if you're having a little bit of trouble with that. You can also do that with the X button, like I just accidentally did, because I'm dumb. Those hearts over there, they will obviously give you some health. I think I may have screwed my chances of getting Master Rank, but I honestly don't care. So, yeah, that's pretty neat. Now, going back to the thing I was thinking about Star Fox Zero, why in the world is that game not like this? Because the idea of Star Fox Zero was that the TV camera was supposed to be more cinematic, and most of the action was supposed to take place on the gamepad. You were switching back and forth between the Wii U and the gamepad all the time in that game, so that you'd use the TV screen to navigate and the gamepad screen to aim. So continuing my little Star Fox Zero rant, I swear I won't harp on this game too long, but why couldn't you just made it more like this, where the TV was more cinematic and the gamepad was where your gameplay was taking place? Like, it does, you do eventually get used to the controls in Star Fox Zero, but the thing is, as you're trying to get used to it, you're always at a disadvantage because if you're on the TV, you can't aim properly because the TV reticle isn't accurate, which is really stupid. And the gamepad screen, if you're looking at that, you're going to be bumping into things all the time because you can't see where you're going. And it's just, I didn't like that game. I'm sorry. I know some of you did, but I just didn't really like Star Fox Zero. And one other thing is, the thing about Star Fox Zero's controls is, by the time you actually do get used to the controls, the game's over. It's so short, and it's basically a carbon copy of Star Fox Zero. which is already a carbon copy of the original game, and Star Fox Zero already has a remake on the 3DS, so if you want to play Star Fox Zero for the story, then there's already a better game on the 3DS. So, yeah, Star Fox Zero is a bit of a weird one, in my opinion. I know some of you liked it, I just wasn't one of those people. But enough about Star Fox, we're replaying through Metroid Blast, and this game really is a blast, because this is one of my personal favorite attractions in Nintendo Land. Because it's just really fun flying around like this. You feel so powerful flying around and shooting things like this. It's so good. You want to watch out for those Cyclone enemies because they will spin around and they're not very nice. So when they're spinning around like that, that is the best time to aim. And as per with the other enemies, only that red part is the part that can take damage. Mastered! Woo! Moving on to a different arena, we're going to be moving into a different kind of gameplay level. Rather than fighting enemies, we're going to be collecting Mii tokens, so that's going to be pretty neat. So the weird thing is, on the gamepad, you're going to be in a different perspective, going outside of a tunnel. But on the TV, like, you just saw that I just left a thing, and I unfortunately can't record anything showing what the tunnel is like. So that's an unfortunate thing that I can't do. And also, because the TV perspective, it may be a little bit harder to see the tokens themselves. But hopefully this gives you a general idea of where they are, in case you're having a bit of a hard time finding them. What a detail I really like is the fact that the is that the tokens have the Mii's faces on them. It's such a cute detail, I really like it. And also, alongside pressing the A or the X button, you can also click the left thumbstick to get a speed boost as well. So that's going to be pretty neat. And there's only one more token left, and luckily I know exactly where it is. I think. No, I don't. Where is it? They give you little icons for the rest of them. Ah, I see where it is now. That's pretty fun. And we mastered it! Yay! And their Nintendo Land batteries on the thing. That's cute. And we're starting off on the gamepad exclusive tunnel that I can't demonstrate for you. I'm sorry. But now we're moving back into a combat mission with Zebesian enemies. And I greatly apologize if I butchered the pronunciation of the enemy names. I don't play a whole lot of Metroid, so I'm not really all that familiar with it. But I do recognize these guys because, well, I've played Nintendo Land before. You want to watch out for these guys because they will be firing at you. Clicking the left thumbstick is going to be your best friend going through this area. And as far as I know, they will always drop hearts, I think. So yeah, you want to be careful with these guys. I want to talk about my history with the Metroid series real quick because it's kind of interesting. I've played a lot of Metroid games, but I've never actually beaten one before. I've played Metroid Fusion. I love it. Haven't beaten it. I've played Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS, and that game's amazing. Haven't beaten it. I've played Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. I liked it. And I didn't get very far because I got stuck in this one room, but I really liked it. But unfortunately I had to end up selling the game because I was having money problems at the time. But hopefully they'll make a Metroid Prime Trilogy HD for Switch, because that'd be pretty neat. And now we're moving on to the final wave. Oh yeah. I'm just so excited for Metroid Prime 4 because that's just going to be so exciting. Like I said, I do love the Metroid games, and hopefully I'll be able to actually beat one someday. I really do want to get back into Samus Returns, but the thing is, like, pretty much every game on the Switch has been taking up my time. That's also the reason why I haven't beaten Luigi's Mansion 3DS yet. But now that we've taken care of all that, we're ending this video off here. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of Metroid Blast. Next time, we'll be taking on a Cyclone Infestation. And next time, Lady Gear to you. Oh yeah.
Cyclone. Zebesian. Zebesian. Target.